From a very gruesome package to Sony literally telling the developers they had to change the mission. What would you say is the most shocking and evil moment in a GTA game? Well, in today's video we have 11 moments. This is from the mission in the Crosshairs from The Ballad of Gay Tony. When Louise heads to Ray's house, it's clear that there's something not quite right. He tells Louise that he has some business to take care of, and after aggressively firing some shots into the ceiling and screaming at his sister, he sends Louise to a location and instructs him to head to the rooftop, and we see a very shocking moment.
Yeah, okay. You're in position. Do you see box in front of you?
Yeah.
Open it. Have you opened it yet?
No, give me a sec.
No.
Okay, I'm here.
Do you recognize this man?
Shit!
I believe you parted with him in a diamond deal.
Yo, what the fuck?
Next up, we have Flatliner from GTA Chinatown Wars. Zhao wants us to pick up an old friend of his called Yuri from the airport. His friend just so happens to be on medical release for heart problems. However, there are some problems as Yuri is a criminal and thus his ambulance is under protection by the LCPD. We have to go to the airport, steal the ambulance and take it back to a lockup. That's when Zhao arrives, and it appears that Yuri hasn't been staying in touch with him. He says that Yuri owes him a pound of flesh due to his betrayal. He pulls out a dagger and removes his heart. Our next scene is Dead Meat in Liberty City Stories. After visiting his mother's restaurant, Tony's mother complains that a man named Giovanni has stopped paying his protection money. She tells Tony that she wishes he had Giovanni's guts. Tony takes this quite literally. He picks up Giovanni and takes him to a local sawmill. That's when we're instructed to kill Giovanni with nothing but an axe. He then brutally cuts him up to death with the axe. But it doesn't stop there. That's where Tony then proceeds to load up the remains of Giovanni into the back of a van, where the butcher's assistant gladly accepts the delivery of fresh meat. Our next one is more of a shocking one as opposed to anything evil. This is of course the mission where Nico finds out the location of Darko and manages to isolate him and get him down to the Liberty City airport. Of course, we're talking about the scene where Nico manages to execute Darko right there on the spot. If you choose the execution scene, like I said, it's not necessarily evil, but it certainly is extremely shocking. And the very last words he mutters are pretty surprising.
Where am I? What is this place? Thank you. You piece of shit!
Our next character is seriously disturbing. This is a serial killer in GTA 4 by the name of Eddie Lowe. Things you should know about this guy is that he's absolutely insane. Killed his own father out of spite, put his own little brother in an oven and cooked him till he died, and ended up suffocating his mother to death. He's killed numerous people throughout Liberty City, and at the ages of 9 and 14 was arrested for torturing animals and indecent exposure. Our first meeting with Eddie Lowe, he asks to be taken to the docks so he can quote unquote drop off his friends or children. It actually turns out that this is a duffel bag filled with bodily remains of one of his victims. This guy is seriously sick, and the whole second encounter with him is seriously evil and disturbing. So I'm going to let you guys watch that now.
Hey there, pal. Hey.
Hey,
Nico, the Balkan sociopath.
Eddie Lowe, the animal masturbator.
You and your wicked sense of humor. You're quite naughty. Quite naughty.
Whatever.
Quite naughty. Do you like to get spanked?
Fuck off. You're creeping me out.
No, I don't want to make you angry, Nico. I don't want to be creepy. It's just my way.
Well, your way is not cool.
Not cool? You say Eddie's not cool? I don't fit in with the in crowd? Well, Mrs. Smith, Eddie's taken your star son, your prized little quarterback, and fucked him in the ass, and then tied him up, strangled him into knots. And your daughter? Your pretty little daughter, Mrs. Abrahams? Eddie's ripped out her intestines just to see if he could feel anything. And you know what? He couldn't. Yeah, he couldn't.
You should get laid or something.
Oh, I just did. A little jogger down by the water. But you know what, handsome? I got a hunger tonight that can't be sated. Come here!
Huh.
Next up we have Louise's Death from GTA Vice City Stories. Louise is kidnapped by Armando Mendez. They take her to Mendez's mansion, where Armando shoots her several times and leaving her to bleed out. Vic and Lance rush to the mansion and shoot their way throughout all of the goons, and eventually reaching Armando Mendez, where Vic then takes him out and kills him. As Louise is breathing her final breaths on the floor, Vic manages just about to make it into her arms, where an incredibly sad and shocking moment occurs.
No one ever really did much for me before. That's sweet of you.
Hey, come on, let's get you to a hospital.
I don't think there's much point in that.
Come on, Louise.
We could have had something special.
Yeah. We did have something special.
Make sure Mary Jo takes care of my baby.
Louise.
If that was bad enough, this next act that's done by one of the GTA protagonists would solidify them on the FBI's most wanted list throughout the entire world. Tony visits 8-Ball, who has a vehicle with explosives ready to go. Carefully driving the van full of explosives, he enters the Porter Tunnel and drives to various parts of the tunnel, planting the explosives, and escapes just as the explosives detonate. This destroyed an entire area of the city, killing hundreds if not thousands of innocent civilians for such a pointless amount of money, besides the fact that he was told to do so by Donald Love. One of the worst GTA moments of all time for both evil and shocking factor is actually from Grand Theft Auto 2. A major meat processing company offers to feed the Russian mafia if it supplies them with a cheap source of meat. Claude Speed is ordered to steal a bus and pick up people waiting at bus stops, thinking that they're going to be taken to their destination of choice. However, after enough people have boarded the bus, Claude is ordered to drive the bus to the meat processing plant. That's when the passengers are processed into meat and killed, and we're instructed to then deliver the remains of these processed humans to the Kovsky diner in a hot dog van. This was so sensitive at the time that PlayStation ordered for the bus to not be featured in the PlayStation version of the game, and instead of picking up civilians, Claude must use a different type of bus, instead of a city bus picking up pedestrians. What is it with Rockstar Games and turning people into meat? I do not know. But if you have any ideas, let me know down below. Fair enough, not many of you have probably played GTA 2 anyway. Our next one is evil, but not necessarily very shocking. And that is going to be Tommy Vercetti trying to impress the bikers in GTA Vice City. Now the reason this mission is evil in particular is because the only reason Tommy goes on a huge rampage murdering and killing as many people as he can, causing absolute chaos, is because he needs to win over the trust of Mitch Baker, the leader of the Angel Biker Gang. So essentially this mission sends Tommy on a complete rampage throughout Vice City, killing as many people as he can, blowing up as many things as he can as well, being essentially a terrorist, all because he needs to impress someone that isn't even that important. Like I said, it wasn't going to be shocking, but still you can't deny that this is an incredibly evil act for a GTA protagonist, especially for such an unimportant reason. The most shocking moment in a GTA game that most people would have witnessed themselves and played through is going to be in GTA 5, and that's going to be the torturing of Mr. K. This mission is called By the Book, and it's given by an FIB agent, Steve Haynes, to Michael DeSanta and Trevor Phillips, although it's mostly Trevor that takes part in the torturing. The main issue with this mission is that this man is completely innocent, let alone the fact that you're then asked to torture someone.
What? Oh, God. I will die.
Once the quote-unquote interrogation is over, Steve Haynes orders Trevor Phillips to kill the man. Let's remember this guy is completely innocent, making this even more shocking. However, it turns out that Trevor has more of a heart than an FIB officer. Trevor takes Mr. K to the airport and orders him to completely leave Los Santos and start a new life.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Come on, let's go. All right, now you got a flight to catch, okay? Let's get you to the airport. Run, you're free.
Oh, what? But my family's here.
Your family is probably the ones who got you fucking in here, all right? Now look, trust no one, all right? You're alone now.
Really?
Yeah, really, now let's go. Fuck off. Come on.
More than 90% of my viewers as of recently are not subscribed, so if you do enjoy this kind of content, I'll be making plenty more videos just like this on the GTA series.